Right, so let's get into the details of what's been happening at our courts. Murtala, give us the breakdown.
Yeah, so the political parties are campaigning seriously, and Bahama is on campaign tour. Dr. Baumia, JB Danquah is also alongside somewhere firing all day long, and so all the political parties are doing their virtually wrapping up. You are summing up, and because I counted, and it's about some 34 days to election or something
about
like
33, 34,
that. Today is 4th, so 3 plus December. Charlie, you're almost there.
We're almost there. We've been counting
as the
down.
political parties prepare, the judicial service or the judiciary are also preparing for the election. You note that for some time now, the outcome of the election have always landed in the courts, and so they are also preparing. Events over the years have given them scenarios, have given them the opportunity to be able to project and prepare and come up with some guidelines. So there was a book that was launched for an election adjudication manual to help all parties, to help everybody, lawyers, journalists, everybody who has election at heart to be able to know what to do and what not to do as far as the December 7 elections are concerned. In case there's a dispute, you know what to go. Let's go and watch the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Justice Trusaki Tokono, while launching that particular manual, what she has to say.
As democracy, like all others, hinges on the consent of the governed. For a republic to thrive and endure, therefore, it is important that the nation believes in essential fairness of the electoral process and institutions of democracy. The obligation to build systems to protect the fundamental freedoms and human rights of citizens lies on all arms of government. While the executive builds and supports the right institutional environment for the nation to thrive, and Parliament administers the legislative framework to support institutions, the judiciary is required to provide the mechanisms and structures for the securing of rights and giving access to justice.
That is the Chief Justice, Justice Trusaki Tokono, when launching this very manual. But of course, Justice Paul Bafuboni, in fact, he is the most senior at the bench of the Supreme Court right now, and he is the chairman of this book, Election Management Committee, who guidance led to the launch of this book. Let's hear what Justice Paul Bafuboni has to say.
One of the main questions that have agitated the minds of stakeholders in the election ecosystem is how to speed up the adjudication process relative to electoral disputes. To this end, the EMC hosted and participated in stakeholder engagements towards enhancing election adjudication, with specific reference to providing timelines for parliamentary election disputes. Such engagements included interactions with the National Peace Council, Center for Democratic Governance, CDD, and other international and national election observers.
So that is Justice Paul Bafuboni, a justice of the Supreme Court. He is the chairman of the Election Management Committee of the Judiciary that put together this manual and all that. And one person has also been talking, Justice Omoro Tanko Amadou, who is the director of the Judicial Training Institute, and he reviewed this book. Let's hear his point.
Volume 3 is a case law compendium. It digests a host of decided cases in our jurisdiction, which have clarified and resolved some of the very recondite areas concerning elections in Ghana. These cases have shed more light on issues touching on the jurisdiction of the courts, the right of prisoners to vote, challenges to voter registration, and the enforcement of electoral laws, among others.
So, Justice Amadou Tanko Omoro telling us much more inside the book. And the copy of the book is, the soft copy, Ahmad says, on the website of the Judicial Service. And he's saying that The book, the manual, even talk about the right of prisoners to vote. So if you're a prisoner, there's a way for you on how to go about elections and other related. So these are some of the things that took place on Friday. And of course, I know one of the things that you guys will be doing.
Yes, the East Legon car crash.
Yes.
Involving the son of Bishop Salifu Amwako. The last you reported, he had appeared in court.
Yes.
He has been charged. He's pleaded not guilty.
Not guilty.
But he's been remanded.
Absolutely.
What's been happening?
So you note that this is the part 2, if you ask me. The part 1 has to do with where the father and the mother had to be arraigned in relation to permitting somebody who is not licensed to drive. In this particular case, the young man himself was arraigned on Friday, and in fact, 8 counts were on the charge sheet, and out of the 8 counts were put together in 4 charges. Let me just walk you through. In fact, he was charged with 2 counts of manslaughter, obviously for the death of the 2 young ladies, 3 counts of negligently causing harm to some 3 others who are receiving treatment, and then 2 counts of dangerous driving. And then the last count has to do with driving without valid license. And all these things accumulated into 8 counts. He pleaded not guilty to all of them. And the court presided over by Bernice Mensma Akun, the magistrate, the juvenile court, remanded him into Osu Boster home to reappear on the Thursday, let's say Thursday, on the 7th of October. And the reason for juvenile offenses, the maximum you can remand an accused person, it's a week. So next week, they will come back. On Thursday, he will come back to court. They will know what's happening. The videos you are seeing is when he appeared at the magistrate court on Friday. So that is latest. You see him in clutches with some few family members in there and all that. So that's the latest with that. The parents are also separately facing their own charges, and he also appeared in court on Friday in relation to what happened at East Lake, but an unfortunate incident leading to death of some 2 persons.
All right, so
Well,
we'll see what happens.
What's coming up today in court?
Sexy Dondon.
The JB trial.
The JB trial, you know. Anytime you mention it, you know,
such a
this incident
long
happened when we
time.
were...
How long has it been? How many years?
2016.
Yeah, since 2016.
The incident happened on February 8, 2016.
That's 8 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
8 years.
And
And
I am wondering how the family even feels. you
yes,
know. Such a
so
long
again, this case delayed because of the jury strike. Yes, so Sexy Dondon was in the witness box giving account, defending himself, mounting defense to the charge of murder, the other and robbery. In fact, his lawyers indicated that with 2 sittings, he will be able to conclude with his evidence in chief, and the prosecution would subject him to cross-examination. But unfortunately, because the jurors were absent the last legal year, this legal year, this is the 2nd time that at the last court sitting, they took series of dates to be able to prosecute or deal with this very case. So today, Sexy Dondon or Daniel Asiedu is expected to continue with his testimony, and we'll know more. When he started, he was telling about how he moved from Medina to somewhere, Agbogboshi, to engage in a commercial sex worker and all of that. So we'll know more what he will have to say and when he will conclude his evidence in chief. And this case is before Justice Lydia Osema, for a justice of the Court of Appeal now. And his lawyer, JB Danquah, is in there. And the prosecutor in this case is Mrs. Sifa Kobache, a principal state attorney. So today, Sexy Dondon is expected to mount the witness box and give account of how or what he thinks he did that he should not be charged or he should not be held liable for the death of the late legislature.
All right, so finally, the
Beige Bank
Beige...
How many witnesses so far?
So
All the 64 witnesses were not called.
no, they won't call. It has been reviewed.
Okay.
So from 61, initially indicated that he was calling 61. Now they have reviewed or revised the notes, and now they'll be calling 49. So 49.
Even that is a lot.
It's a lot. Just if you ask Sewa Sarabuji, have had issues with the number right from the word go. And so what we expect is that 25 with the 25th witness had come discharged. Today we expect the 26th to come. And at the last court sitting, something very interesting happened between the lawyers and the court. And what the court is saying that all throughout, when we draw a case management completion plan, lawyers of the accused person did not sign. And so what they planned for before they adjourned it today everything was vacated. So the court is saying that today, if you don't bring your witness, consider your case closed. So today is an interesting day that we'll see whether the accused person will produce his 26th witness. If he doesn't, what will be the position of the court? Is the court going to say that, yeah, you don't have any more witnesses to call, and therefore your case is closed or not? So we'll bring you more in relation to that. So Mr. Nyineku is expected to call his 26th witness out of the 49 that now he has indicated of calling. One of the longest you can ever think of.
I know,
Absolutely.
in the history of Ghana. Anyway, Captain, thank you very much.
Thank you to the duo.